So, this is a response video. Did you see Shed Space number 3? This week it was on Weekend Shed Heads channel. And do you watch Weekend Shed Head? A mark of the small wood workshop. Yeah, so anyway, this week it was great. It's just like a talking heads. It just
that week has flown by, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It seems like 2 minutes ago.
This is Rob, and this is Mark. Anyway, so this is my response. It was if you get a chance, it's just over an hour, and just rambling away, and there it is. There, can you see it? And anyway, you send the questions. It's live. Put the questions in, and they try and answer the questions and have a conversation, and it goes between the people sending the messages and having the chat. It was great. It's got huge potential. I think it's got great potential. Obviously it's going to take a bit of time to develop, but anyway, I'm going to address one of the questions I did put myself. I said, what's best, brick sheds or wood sheds? So I'm going to try and explain to you anyway. And the other one was the internet. We'll do that in a minute. So because the internet, about 3/4 of the way through, the internet went a bit fuzzy, but it did come back and it was okay. So let's do the question of the sheds, and I'll give you a story of my patch and my sheds. So we're not talking about what's in the sheds, we're just talking about the sheds. Now, in the beginning, this was our property. This was the end of the property. This all we owned was here and the shed. So I built the shed completely at the end of the property. That's it, you know, and obviously we'll go round to the door that way. So it was a shed, and then it was just completely. So is it a shed or is it boundary walls? Anyway, this particular shed we sent off for planning permission, did a pad and built it up, blah blah blah, usual sort of thing. We added that as Debbie's shed as we went along, because remember, there would have been a brick wall, a neighbour's wall there, and this is the other side of the wall out to the side of the house, the driveway. Anyway, let's move on a little. So I've sort of been fortunate in lots of ways. I've lived here for 23, 25, over 20 years. Now, originally this here was the end of the property. This one here, this was my garage. That was the complete end of the property, and we didn't own this. This was a transport yard. The houses weren't there, these have come afterwards. And even this is an add-on, but we'll come back to this in a minute. So this is the end of the, let's have a look, let's show you. Up to the end of there, see, that was the end of the property. That was the whole property. That's the property we bought in the beginning. So I built a brick shed right at the very end, obviously with the car garage here. And here was just an open tarmac space, like a parking space. There was offices up there, and then the cars used to park the offices. They used to turn around here. Anyway, that got sold off. We ended up gaining this patch of land from here to there. And can you see? You can't see, can you? Can you see the wall from the back here? Can you see the wall behind? So hold on. So you see where it drops down here? That was access to next door. So next door used to go in that way, and this actually is next door's. All this brickwork here, this is next door's shed. A lovely big shed they've got next door. Comes out this far. Anyway, let me see if I can show you. The opportunity came to buy. Can you see that brick wall here? This is a brick wall here. This was a gateway. The opportunity came in the right place at the right time. With a bit of money in my pocket, I bought this gateway so that I had this land it might have been the situation where next door could have come in and out and had access, but we made a deal. I bought that gateway, so then he didn't need the access. So we gained this, and this was up the end. So let's continue here about sheds. Now, is this a shed, or is it just boundary walls? This is my rear boundary wall now. This was the wall that we put a doorway in. But if you look at this isn't my wall. This red brick wall is next door's shed. Now I do mean to block another wall up here, just in case if they decided they wanted to knock that down for whatever reason, they could, and I wouldn't have a wall. So one day I will build another wall in here, but that wall is actually next door's wall, because we get on, everybody gets on well here. And this is the boundary. This is the boundary to the end of the property. This is why I like brick buildings, because you can build right to the end. Hold on, wait there. So as you can see, this is the end of the property. I put this here because we had a wooden fence and it got hit by a visiting skip driver, a delivery driver, whoever, whatever, and it mangled it. So this was just a wall, and just another wall here. So it wasn't a shed, it was just a boundary wall. And to get access, we put this, I got this door, so it was a wall. This was just a wall with a door in it, and this was still a yard at that time. So we decided then to build it. So is it a shed, is it a building, or is it next door's garage wall and my boundary wall? I don't know. Is it a shed? Isn't it a shed? You can see it's got a door here and it's got a door there. Now the reason this door is here is simple. We were given the door, it's cheaper than blocks. So that's there. Inside here, let me show you the window. So there's actually a window out of here. And we didn't really plan the window. The only reason that window is there, again, because it's cheaper than blocks. So we were donated a door. We wanted one. We got given two, a door and frame. Great, that's cheaper than blocks. Included in the giveaway was this window and a frame. Again, plastic, rot-free. So cheaper than blocks, isn't it? And so that's how that shape and that wall evolved. And all we've done is stuck a roof on it. I've got something else to show you about this boundary wall here, this back shed wall, whatever you want to call it. Let me show you. So do you know when you've been working away and you know you're doing bits and pieces, you're building this, you're building that, you end up having rubbish, you know, horrible mix. You have spare, don't you, that you don't use, and you want to tidy it up. So ordinarily it would cost you to take it to the tip, the aggravation, putting it in bags, all that sort of malarkey. Well, here is the wall, the brick wall, and here is the step behind. So any rubbish that you would put in a tip, or you see it's been put in sections. So obviously I had that spare, that level of, we've done it in, look, there's the bottom one, and then we had this much spare, so we got rid of it. Obviously this is a bit sloppier mix, I think. Then that was another job we did, and we tidied up what we're going to do with all the rubbish. So I use my rubbish mix, sort of shutter it up roughly, and use it to not so much strengthen the wall, but at least no one's going to come through the back, because at that time, you remember, these houses weren't here and this was pitch black. So I always thought to myself, well, if they're going to come in, they're going to come in through the back wall in the dark. So they're not going to come through the wall in the dark, this wall. They'll have a big surprise, they take their block off. And they're not going to knock it again with a truck, because I've got this steel post here. So, is it a shed? Or is it just a boundary wall, boundary fence? Then we had the windows changed in the house. We've been catching up. We're preparing the house for retirement. Get it done now, so it's not done when we're old and knackered. Anyway, so I said, keep the windows. I'll make Debbie a greenhouse. And at that point, I didn't really have a plan particularly. The only reason this is here and this is that shape is because I had these sheets. Look, these sheets. I had a load of these sheets. Ted, I said to Ted, how many sheets have you got? Is there enough to do a roof? So the reason this is this wide is because that's the width of the sheets. That's how this came about. There was no other measurement. So anyway, I put a foot in. I'd done loads of films about this. Put a kicker at the bottom, then leveled it up. Then we put the wall. If you see, look, it's very simple. This, it's just one window frame on top of another window frame, and that gave us a beginning. So fine. So now we know how high it's going to go, and it gave us enough fall. It's only just enough fall, but it's enough fall to get the rain away. So because we knew the size of this window, we knew what size of wall to put underneath it. So we made the wall fit the window, as you might say. Yeah, and here's another one, see? And then we were going to end it here. Get rid of that. We were going to end it here, but we kindly donated this door and glass frame, so that allowed us to extend it a little bit. And we were very lucky. This window, just how we were looking, and this window just happened to fit nicely, so we built the wall underneath to fit the window there. And you see this little extension bit just to push the edge out? That is just, you know, your open window, top windows. It's two of them put on top of each other, again, which happened to fit. We put them two on top of each other, which just extended it that little bit. So that's how the greenhouse came about. Oh, and then Debbie wanted a growing area, because she quite that, but she had nowhere to grow outside. So what we did, we just built a bit of a brick wall here and put soil in there. So that's how that growing area has arrived. This here now is the extension. This in here is the extension. So remember, this was the original garage. At that time, well, it was sort of a plan. 3 or 4 new cars ago, not this mustard one, not the purple one before, but Debbie had a little yellow Peril, a little yellow thing. So I said, before all this arrived, I said to Debbie, if I build you a garage for your nice new car, can I have the back end for for my extension, for my nuts and bolts? So deal done. So it's basically, it's only, again, it's a door and it's a window, and again the window is cheaper than the blocks. So and of course we've had to strengthen up the window, and this is just a divider. We broke through the wall, we came through here. My extension to my garage is there. Well, because she's got a bigger car, it doesn't fit here now, so this has ended up being the Goldwing garage, because the Goldwing used to be next door. Yeah, so it all evolves. Nothing's ever sort of planned, it just sort of evolved. This is the window here. It's only because it's cheaper than blocks. Gates, the story of these gates, can you see them? Look, let me tell you the story of the gates. When these people first arrived, they had no water, no nothing. And I said to them, I think they may have asked for a bucket of water or something. And I said, well, what I'll do is I'll run you a hose pipe. You can have as much water as you want to run a hose pipe. Because it's nice to be nice. And, you know, they were here working. And obviously, you wouldn't see nobody without water, would you? Well, anyway, of course, when you're friendly with somebody, you can then ask them for something. It wasn't part of the plan, but there was a big set of gates over there, and there was a set of gates here, just right next door to us. And obviously they were flattening the place and rebuilding it and whatever. And I said to them, can I have your gates, mate? Can I buy those gates off you? So I was so lucky to land on these posts here, and them gates, and this is the other gate. So these were the gates of the transport yard. Well, as you can see, I've made the gate fit the gap. I wanted a bigger gap, so I got the gates and then extended them. You know, extended them the Reggie way, yeah. But they do the trick, don't they? And then the both gates open up now. Let me do that. Oh, look, these are the gates open now. So when we first came here, we had this garage, didn't we? And then we gained the land there, and then we built the rear garage, which is only the boundary walls. And then of course let's build a greenhouse, so we built a greenhouse and we put it here. It evolves over the years, and I'm sure all you shed men are the same. My next project is to put another shed here, but I don't want to go too high. I don't want it to look too ugly. I want this to be in the form of a summer house, so it looks nice, but actually it'll be a garage inside. But we'll have to build the kitty up. We keep spending it. We build the kitty up, then we spend it on something else. So it's the way it is, isn't it? And this post pulls out. And I used to park the Sprinters. This was full of vans. There's vans in here. I did have a wooden shed here before the brick one, but I pulled it down because it was more valuable to be a parking space for a van, because I couldn't get the van in the wooden shed. So I knocked the shed down. I just wanted parking. So we had basically, this wall was full of gates, wooden gates and stuff. And if you go way back in the videos, you might just see them before we did it. So yeah, it's evolved. That's part of the fun, making a Reggie gate with a Reggie lock and with a Reggie handle. And of course I love this stuff. This fiberglass stuff is fantastic. So hopefully it all blends into one. And of course I've been very fortunate of having this here, because this is the driveway. There's 18 houses in the little street that I live, and so you have to come up here if you want to go to the backs of the houses. You go down that way. So I'll be very fortunate to be able to get in and have a wide enough track to be able to go in this way. It's all about being in the right place at the right time. We've been very, very fortunate the way things have turned out. So I know you're asking, what happened to the gates were there before the big gates? Well, these are the gates that we reused as baddie doors. These are now baddie doors. This is the roller shutter door. These are now baddie doors inside. Keeps the baddies out. So this might come out of sync, but we've got one of those internet booster things here, all the way from the house. And what it does, because we've got electric in here, we've got light, and we've got light and electric in here, and we've got power. Not as much as I'd like. I haven't really moved up in here much, but we've got the electric in, which runs the cameras and all that up here. I'll add on to that. We were running all the lights up here electric, but we've turned to solar now, and that's why we've unplugged a lot, because we're running solar lights instead of mains lights. But we have an internet booster thing up here, and we also have an Alexa up here. When I plug it in, when I'm up here. But we've been on a power saving. Don't leave everything on just for the sake of it. So we only need it on if and when I move into this place, sort of more, start using this shed a lot more. But we've got an Alexa up here, and the internet comes via the plug wire. I'll show you that in a minute. So as you've no doubt seen, in this garage we've got the shed, and we've got the CCTV feed in here, and it's got an Amazon or a Fire Stick, so that's got a Fire Stick in it, so I can watch telly and everything else that comes along with the Fire Stick, should I want to here, which is there, look. And then again, this is a This is fed by this. It's plugged into this is the internet thing, boosts it and sends a signal up here, because you know you've got internet in the house, but you walk out the house, you lose the internet, don't you? So these are these booster things, and again, all it is, obviously you've got to connect it and stuff, but it's not a separate cable or nothing. It's just using the existing. The electric is coming into the house. The electric from the house is coming into the shed, and the electric from this box goes up to the rear shed, but it all just travels down the electric wire system. There's no extra wire, no nothing. And then that's the internet up here. And yeah, we have an Alexa up here as well. It's great for drop-in, you know, all that sort of stuff. Alexa, drop in living room.
Okay, dropping in.
See, and Deb's not there at the minute, so I can't show you. Alexa, stop dropping. And it's great, that sort of. So that's how this is set up here for connectivity and all that sort of malarkey. So, always bleeping. I don't know what I've done. I've touched something maybe. Uh-oh. Anyway, this is your internet box, isn't it? And then, I think that was the alarm box then. That, the wire, the internet box connects just to a standard plug in the house, and then it makes every electrical connection in the house a connection for your YouTube, for your, you know, your Wi-Fi and all that. And again, we've got Alexa up here, so I can call upstairs. I can call the guys from here. Alexa, drop in garage.
Okay, dropping in.
So if we were in the garage, oh, Alexa, stop. Whatever that was. So let's have a little bit of a final sort of overview. There's next door's garage. This is the street. The back garden's in the street. We've all got, that was a lovely garage up here. So this was the original one, and we gained the land on the back, and we built the other one in the back with the blue roof, and then the white roof in front of it, that's the greenhouse. And we've kept it the same height as everybody else's. The secret is, don't stand out. Don't blend in with everyone else. And if you want to look at it from the other side, you have to wait for one of those houses to come for sale, and then look at the pictures. And then when you see the pictures of the house being advertised, you look through their window on the sales advertisement to see the back of here. So anyway, I hope that's given you a little story of how they've evolved over 23, 25 years.